Last time on Sword Coast Adventures, Harvick was sent to jail, and he was broken out by Rokus and Icy, who invisibly snuck in. Icy in a form of a snake. You guys looked around the building and were able to get most of his stuff out with him, and you left a note saying that you're sorry about what happened, but you're gonna pay them back in the future for the damages, and that the charges of the ATC were false. So you're hoping that they wouldn't pursue you. And then you guys used Pass Without a Trace and some other sneaky methods to try to hide your path out of town. And also, Harvick had a vision from Tyr where he gave up his eye and his noble family name in order to make amends for his trespasses. So Harvick is probably feeling a bit unusual, I guess, at this point. So that's where we start with you guys at camp. It should be day 29 in the morning. You guys are near to Yardhar.
How near to Yartar are we?
It would just take a hour or two to get there from where you are.
Oh,
And we get up in the morning and realize that Harbeck's got no eye now.
you
Yeah, we role played that out last time. I'm hearing some.
I was moving my thing so I could look at the map.
Okay.
Or I had it down beside me, but I put it in front of me now.
Okay. Just
Sorry.
Just keep in mind that it comes through loudly on the microphone.
Real
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have already had the conversation of discovering his missing eye, and I'll reiterate, it's not a wound. It's actually like scarred over and healed. So it looks like it's been that way for a long time. So I think right away you guys would realize like this makes Harvick kind of a lot less recognizable
Okay.
because it doesn't look like he just lost an eye. It looks like he hasn't had it for years.
Okay.
So
It'll be a good disguise.
yeah.
Our Popeye servant. Dwarf servant.
It makes him fit the description from the wanted poster atlas.
Yeah. Especially now that he's a commoner.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning and you guys get prepared to move. Seraphim starts to talk to you guys and says, are you guys planning to go into Yartar? Because I think we should probably just keep heading east and avoid the city altogether. What do you think?
If we don't need anything in the city, that's okay. What do you guys think?
unless there's some information we get about dragons. Does anybody know anything about Yartar?
You guys could roll history. I think.
I got an 8. I don't know that much about Yartar.
Okay. Rokus is probably the most likely to know about it, actually. So it's kind of funny.
Sorry, guys.
I got a 10.
And then did you add what you do for history?
Yes. Yeah.
I
I
got-
rolled a 4 and right. Yeah, go on.
I rolled an 8 plus 3, so I've got 11.
Okay, so nobody got particularly high rolls there. You just know that Yartar is a trading city basically. It's on this long river that goes up and down, uh, kind of the interior of the Sword Coast, and the place where the river goes out is pretty close to Waterdeep. So Yartar is actually does a lot of trading with Waterdeep, and so you would expect that the ATC would have a relatively strong presence in Yartar.
Yeah, then it's good.
And it's
Good,
Lord's
good
Alliance
place.
city.
Actually, wouldn't Zarafin know about that?
Um, he, I don't think he's spent time in Yartar though, but he knows.
He would know the connection with the cities they traded with.
Right, yeah, he would definitely know that. Yeah, the ATC is active in Yartar and that it's a Lord's Alliance city. But you guys would know that too.
Okay, so it's a
But
good
that's
place to avoid.
yeah. You don't know much about the city itself, like places within the city. So just to remind you, so Rokus, back when you were just a ranger who would guide people around, you did come up and down the long road and through the high forest, um, this general area. So you're relatively familiar with these places. But yeah, you according to your role, you have either not been into Yardtar or haven't really been around the city itself too much.
Yeah,
You probably led people to the city and then haven't really spent any time in there.
just got them there and let them loose.
Yeah. But
Okay.
one thing that's like pretty like recognizable is they have a very large bridge that crosses the river here.
Now, would would we need to go across the bridge there, or are we able to get across the river some other way?
All right, let me see here for the river.
And do we need to cross it to go to where we think the dragons are?
Yes, you
Well,
would.
we haven't really got a good idea. The only thing we know about the dragons on my notes anyway is that we need to go east.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
So
could stay on either side of the river as far as I don't see any roads or anything.
so yeah, the Dessarin River it kind of veers off to the east, but it connects with the river Cerbrin, which goes up north. So you're gonna have to cross the river to get east. There's no way to get over there without crossing the river.
Wait, where are we trying to go that we have to cross the river? I thought we were just going east.
There's a river to the east. You're in Tribor. To get
Right.
to get on the other side of the river, you have to cross it to get over. I don't know if you're looking at the same part of the map as I am.
We're gonna have to cross at
Okay.
Yartar,
Okay.
right?
Okay. If I'm at Yartar, if I just keep on going east and stay
You're
on the
not
north
at
side of the
Yartar.
river, that'll still take me in the general direction I want to go.
You haven't got
Oh.
to. You're coming from
Okay, we're on the other.
Tribor.
Okay, we're on the other side of the river. Gotcha.
Yeah, you're on the
Okay.
Tribor side.
I thought we were closer to Yartar. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to the river yet.
So if we
Gotcha.
cross the river,
So
we're like on
let
the
me
out.
say this. So if you cross the river, that would be entering the city, right? Basically, there's the
Okay.
city. The city is on the east side of the river. So to get into the city, you cross this bridge.
Okay.
Um,
So we're gonna
so
have to go into the city then.
if you want to cross there, you'd have to go in the city.
Is
Uh,
there anywhere else to cross?
yeah, I'll see if there's anything in particular.
Well, if that's the case, we have to go in the city anyway. I would say
I think we
don't spend a whole lot of time there. Cross the bridge, go to a tavern or something like that, get what information we can, and then keep on going.
I think we should split up. We'll be less identifiable. Zerafin's a elf. I'm a elf. We could hang out, and you could be you could be Icy's servant and go
That's what you want.
in.
That's fine with me.
Okay, so are we going to go to different places and you and Zarafin go one direction, me and Harbeck go another direction?
Well, I would go to looking for a middle to low class tavern and just see if there's any hubbub about dragons. If there was dragons around, I'd think people would be talking about it. And I could be I could be posing as Zerafin's guide, and Harbeck could be Icy's more or less guide.
Well, if we do that, we might want to stay as a group just because if we're sitting there saying we're interested in dragons, with all four of us, it might look like we could actually take on a dragon.
We can look for information for dragon. Didn't say that we're the ones going after it, but somebody else could be interested in the dragon.
Uh, Either way.
Okay, I have a answer. So, Rokus, since you've traveled this area, you're the only one who might know the answer to where other crossings are. So
Yeah, that would be something a guide would know.
roll. You can roll with advantage on that for.
Well, I got even lower than 8.
Well, you roll again with advantage. And I will say
Okay.
this can be a survival check.
Okay. And then I got a pretty good roll on my second try. With survival,
You have a
it
high
would
survival.
be 20.
Okay, so that sounds to me like you have used this crossing. So you know that there's an alternative route across. It would kind of take you. You'd have to go south for. You'd be crossing through the hills and stuff, following the river south for maybe 4 days to get to a place called. Hold on, let me double check it. It's just called Stone Bridge. There's a very large bridge near to a town I think called Red Larch.
Which is small
It's
enough
not
that
on
it's
the
not
map.
on this big. It's not on this big map.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I know there is a crossing, but it's south of here. It's pretty far out of the way. You want to just go through and have minimal contact here in Yartar and head out.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's just avoid town for now and head that way.
You want to go south?
Yeah, let's head south.
How about you, Harbeck? What do you think?
Okay.
How about you, Zarafin? What do you think?
Yeah, we don't know specifically to the east exactly where we need to get to anyway. So I was thinking if we went through Yartar, we could try to get a boat on the Dessarin River to the east. But since we've come into trouble in Tribor and where people are on the lookout, especially for me also, it's probably gonna be hard to get a boat around here without getting people to notice us.
Why are they on the lookout for you?
Well, they've probably just
You're just kind of missing.
Yeah, they might be considering me a deserter or confused about where I am, but if people see me, they're gonna come looking for me.
But you're not a standout as being who you are.
pretty recognizable if somebody was on the
6
lookout
feet
for him.
tall. Come on. How are you going to
He's just a
disguise
big
that?
guy. I thought we dressed him up as a Goliath.
I don't think I don't think you guys ever like fully did that. From what I
Yeah, I think
remember.
we discussed it, but we never did it, I think.
Well,
What
he's
will-
been hanging out
So
around
maybe we should,
outside town.
so
Yeah.
instead of discussing it, let's have him do that. Let's have him disguise
Okay.
himself as a Goliath. Let's get that done.
How about this?
Can't
How
really
about
do
if I
that
go?
with, we don't have them any, I don't even think.
How do you?
How about if I go into Yartar and use my thief connections and see if I can come up with some materials that would be good for a disguise?
Could do that, but
What will we need? Like a wig?
oh,
Makeup?
you can tell Seraphim isn't keen on this disguise idea. He says, I mean, the thing is, you know, Goliaths have like naturally white skin, and I have dark skin, and I have pointed ears, and I don't know
We
how
can.
they're usually bald. I guess I could shave my head,
I was
but
gonna.
I don't know. I think like we're just gonna get into trouble if we mess around in the city.
Okay, then let's just go south and go across the stone bridge.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. It now if the thing you said about some thief connections, I feel like that could work for getting us a boat, possibly. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like we after our trouble in Tribor, we might want to play it safe for now.
Well, once we've crossed the bridge and come up, we can come in on the east side of the city and look for a boat. And I
Well,
can do that there.
as we go south, we might be able to find someone that has a boat we could buy.
Yeah, I wonder maybe
Find a
in
farmhouse or something like that.
I wonder if they have they might have some trading boats that stop in Red Larch, the town you mentioned. Maybe we can find something there.
We could either maybe buy or hire a boat there,
Now,
and then
the ri-
wait till nighttime to go take the thing across from Yartar when we get to the where the river bifurcates.
where the river goes east out of Yartar, we could take if we got a boat in what's the name of the place at the stone bridge?
Red Larch.
Red Larch.
And we might not have to travel that far down. If we travel along the edge of the river, we might be able. I say we might find a boat that we could either hire or buy on our way down. So if we stay on the edge of the river, we can keep our eye out for a possibility of getting a boat. Might not even have to go all the way to the bridge.
Okay, that'd be cool. What are we gonna pay for the boat with? I don't have any money. You don't have any money.
What does Icy have?
I think I have money. Just let me get to equipment.
You should have like around four or 500. Because you guys all took us even amount out of the bank.
You know what? I've got quite a bit of currency. I've got 686 gold. I have 297 electrum, 23 silver, 71 copper. I don't have any platinum though.
Okay. Well,
Right,
let's,
I have almost 700 in gold.
okay. Let's with the electrum, it'd be over 700. Let's see what we find.
Okay, sorry. Also, so let me give you some more details about the area around Stonebridge. So actually, Red Larch is. I was wrong. That was over on the long road, which leads up to Tribor. Um, the directions I saw was mentioning that being close, but it's actually not that close. The closest one on the long road is called West Bridge, and then on the east side of the Stone Bridge is a small town, Belliard. So
Elliard.
yeah, the
Those
town that that's basically
those are nothing we can see though, correct?
yeah, those are not on that map. They're small
Okay.
places. Here, actually I can get this map I found.
And I like Harbeck's idea about following the river down. That way, if we run into something on the way, like a ferry or something like that that crosses the river, we typically either have fords or ferries besides bridges, and you either hire or buy a boat. Now that Harbeck's a commoner, I could steal one.
Okay, so just to on the map that you guys have,
Yeah.
the area with the stone bridge would be basically between those two sections of hills. There's a big group of hills south of Yartar, and then there's a little bit of green grasslands, and then another group of hills.
Okay.
So the stone bridge would be between those two
In
groups.
between them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I dropped in Discord a little black and white map there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
shows you the long road on the left side, and the river is, and you can see on that one also the groups of hills there.
Okay. So how long will it take us to get to the stone bridge?
4 or 5 days, depending on how well you get through the hills.
Okay. Should I roll a survival check for getting our guys through the?
Yeah, that's what we'll do once you get going. But just want to make sure everybody's in agreement there. Sounds like you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, okay, again, because we want to keep our eyes out for, we want to stay close to the river so that we can hopefully find a boat before we get to the stone bridge. So that's probably going to slow us down a little bit.
That's true, because it's kind of a winding river there, so.
Right.
That's true.
And there's a little.
But I think it's
there's a small I don't know, tributary that comes off of it. You'll have to cross that.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile doing that though, because again, what we're hoping to do is to find a boat.
Cool.
And they would probably dock them by the bridge, wouldn't you think?
There's a town there, and
Yeah, but we might, in the first day, we might, either find a farmhouse where somebody with a boat, either the farmer has a boat or somebody's stopping there, like.
Okay, let's go.
Well, farms next to or was typical. I'm assuming it is in this area too. That if you've got a farm next to a thing like that, that people are stopping to buy food and supplies, and you're trying to do trying to have stuff there to let them dock so that you can sell them stuff.
Yeah.
Get supplies and that sort of thing.
You would think that sounds reasonable, and Rokus would know that Belliard's a small town, but it has the bridge there, so it does have some amount of trade coming through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm ready to give us a survival.
Okay, so you guys had headed over towards Yartar, but as you guys got close, you decided to go south, And so Ruckus, the ranger, once again will attempt to guide the group through the hills as you travel south along the river, looking for possible boats to uh, buy or use. So go ahead and roll a survival check. You're not in your favored terrain though, so you just do a normal check.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay because I rolled a 19 plus 6, so it's 25.
Okay, great. So Ruckus gets you guys to the river south of Yartar so that you're out of sight of the city. And you start heading south, and you're able to travel all day without any issues. Let's have so you guys mentioned looking for farmhouses, docks, boats, anything else you want to look for as you travel?
Dragon spore.
Dragons?
Yeah. Do we do an investigation or a perception or what for that?
Okay, so looking for dragons?
Yeah.
Or looking
Or
for.
if we stop at a farmhouse, ask them if they know anything.
Okay, cool. We'll do a few different rolls here and see what you guys come up with. So, what's the first thing you want to be looking for? We'll roll for that. Roll for these things
A
separately.
boat.
Okay.
A boat.
So everybody, Harvick, you can roll too, but with your -5 to perception that you have now, probably not going to be the best roll, I'm guessing, but you can try. It's possible that you could get lucky there. So everybody roll a perception. This is for
15
looking
total.
for boats.
I've got 18 plus 4 for 22.
Very good.
Alright, I'll roll to see randomly if there's anything
1.
interesting. Alright, so as you go south, you actually don't see many boats in the river at all. There is a you actually see a large ATC I don't know if you'd call it a ship, a large boat going north on the river.
Like a barge?
Yeah, it's quite large, and it's marked with the ATC logo and things, so it's pretty recognizable.
An ATC flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
who had what was the highest number you had there?
22 was me.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, you just notice it seems to be a mercantile ship. It doesn't seem to be military based. That's you don't see any like obvious armaments or a lot of you don't see any of the military vehicles or anything that you've heard about. So yeah, you're under an impression that it's a merchant ship.
Does it by any chance have like a dinghy or anything attached to it?
No, you don't notice any small boats like following it or hanging off the sides or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you would notice that they have some lifeboats like within the ship, like on the deck area. But yeah, okay. So yeah, it's as far as the ship for you guys to use, that it's not a successful day finding something on the river there.
Is there any chance that we could cut down a tree and hollow it out, or would that take too long?
Yeah.
Make a canoe or something.
Yeah.
It's possible you could do that. I don't
Make
know
a barge
in
or a
real life
raft.
how long it would take, but I
I
would
don't
think
think we
it
can do
would take a
that
few
because
days to make a good one,
it,
at least.
we have to go we have to go against the current. That's not going to work.
Yeah, and also I'll say this as the DM, I am not very experienced with boats or ships, and I happen to know that Richie and Harvey are both pretty experienced. So there's gonna be a lot of things that you guys know about that I don't. So I'll I will ask you for help if I need some references. I'm not gonna
Or
pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
if this river is navigable to the point where there's a big barge going up and down it,
Yeah.
there would definitely be people with um, bateau style simple boats that they would use for
Yeah,
not only crossing but for fishing and and any kind of transportation because water transportation is like way faster and safer.
yeah.
It,
If there aren't any road, if there are not any roads, that's what I'm thinking. If there are not any roads, the first house we go to is going to have a boat.
yeah,
Okay, so I rolled for what you guys found. So I would describe this area that you're going through on the first day is
so
a lot.
the boats could all be in service. I mean,
Well, I
there
was
could
gonna
be
say
lots of
the
boats.
terrain you're going through on during this
Yeah,
day is a lot more rough. You don't come
yeah,
across any farmhouses or fishermen on the edge. It's actually the
it's
the
more remote.
yeah, also maybe the edge of the river is more like a cliff almost at this area,
Sure.
so it's not really accessible.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you're not finding much on this first day. It seems that probably a lot of the people who live in this area, went to actually live in Yartar and stuff. So the area outside of Yartar is not super
It's not good
usable,
for farming.
not good for farming, and not yeah, not that great to live in this particular area. But we'll see how you guys roll on the next day. But
Okay.
yeah, you guys travel through this like rough, hilly uh, environment for about a day, and yeah, you you see mostly the one that stands out is the ATC merchant ship there, but you don't see anything else that would be of use.
Okay.
You might see, some other boats passing by at a distance, but something that you wouldn't be able to contact them or anything.
Okay. Do we have to do anything for our camp?
Yeah, sure. So like what we've been doing before is having Rokus, who had the highest perception, roll for the night watch, and let the other guys get their rest. So we'll continue
Okay.
doing that. You guys don't expect to come across too many dangerous creatures, but in Tribor they did mention some hill giants and such things. So you still want to keep an eye out. So go ahead, Rokus. You guys make camp on a hill, and you guys have a pretty good view of the area. So you feel like it's pretty
Okay.
defensible.
And with my +6 perception, we got 19.
Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah, you don't come across anything. Nothing comes across you.
Okay, now we probably should send a message with our sending stone since it's in the evening.
Ah, yes. Okay, this would be
Just tell them.
before bed.
Right.
Okay, so that's evening of day 29. So what's your update for the Emerald Enclave and Blizzard?
Just say going south. We're trying to cross the river to continue our journey east.
How about headed east, south, Yartar.
Um, now we still have some money. Ask them and then say, uh, will my magic credit card work in Yartar?
I think you guys already discussed it before that you guys had surmised that your card would be tracked.
Yeah,
Okay.
have to clear your name before we. Heck, they may dock it for the damages. Even who knows?
That's what I was wondering. Sit there and say something like that. Transfer money to what's the name of the town that we owe money to?
Well, I would say in town you didn't notice any you didn't notice a branch of the Many Coins Bank, and you
Yeah.
Okay.
know that Tribor is not part of the Lord's Alliance, so I don't think
Okay.
you'd assume that they'd have easy access to that at least.
Okay. And
You
just
can
tell
do
them we're
all that later.
traveling south in order to cross the river.
Okay.
See what they tell us.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you just send them a quick message saying you're heading south on the Dessarin River towards a crossing. Okay, cool. So you get a response. It says, hold on. Has two pieces of news for you. It says, he says, Thay, the kingdom of Thay, has signed an alliance with neighboring kingdoms Thesk, Murgom, and Mulharand. ATC is gearing up
What
for war, and Faxina how can I say this quickly? So the last part of the message is Octavian in Waterdeep for reactor inspection. Faxina wants to detonate the reactor.
Wants to detonate it?
She wants to blow up the city.
So yeah, the message is limited, so you don't get that much details. But yeah, it sounds like it says Octavian is in Waterdeep for a inspection at the reactor. Faxina wants
What reactor in Waterdeep?
you have heard of this before. They have the mana reactor.
Oh, the manor. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Celise has been sending her information on how to do that, and I think previously one of your reports they let you know that Faxina had pretty much gotten things in place to attempt a sabotage of the reactor
At Waterdeep.
at Waterdeep. Yes.
So she.
Now,
So
who was it?
she's gonna.
Who wanted to?
So she's going to destroy the A. She wants to destroy the ATC then.
So just remember, I don't know if you're confusing the names of Faxina and Xenophia. So, Faxina is the Emerald Enclave. Um,
She's the
Well,
one
vaccine. Okay, names
we
are two.
rescued.
All right, so vaccine is the one that wants to detonate it.
yeah, she's one of Rokus's and
Right, right.
ICU's
Okay, I thought you
higher
said.
ups.
Okay, I didn't get the names right.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
try to type it out here. You guys can discuss if you want.
Right. Zaxina's was at Waterdeep at Neverwinter earlier.
Right.
What's the name of the um, woman that we brought back from the?
That's Celise, I think.
Okay. How is Zaxina plan to detonate the thing? The reactor, would that be like by agents that would set this off, or would it be like a suicide mission?
I don't know. Maybe she. If does she want us to do that? I mean, the next time we send a message, next night we might ask. We can ask her if she wants us to be the ones to try to do that.
That would be a pretty severe thing. You'd be killing off the whole city.
Yeah.
And you'd either have to go through some pretty elaborate sneaking around to get people out of the city that you didn't want to blow up.
I'm
I
actually
don't know if there's any way of evacuating the city without alerting the ATC to what was planned. If you were going to do it with any stealth, you'd be compromising all the people in the city.
Well, I don't. Well, the Church of Tyr isn't gonna. I mean, maybe that's what Faxina wants. I'd want to sit there and see what the Church of Tyr thinks about that. What they say.
Yeah. And just in general, trash wiping a city off the face of the map is pretty extreme.
Unless there's some way to do it where it's not all that big of damage.
Or at least have an opportunity to evacuate the people that you. I mean, it's okay to blow up the ATC, but
Yeah, but we only blew up a
in.
house. I mean, we really don't know how much of that area was devastated.
We were
If we just
we,
blew up a.
we were miles away from it and heard it. It was a pretty big explosion.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So
we don't know where the reactor is. Yeah, but we might not have to evacuate the entire town, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay, so just from what you guys know, the explosion that happened at Xanophia's mansion was definitely, the biggest explosion you guys have ever seen. And I think you would be under the impression that that was a smaller reactor because it was just powering that one house, basically. So, yeah.
How about
I typed out the message that you guys got, so I'll restate it here. Kingdom of Thay signed alliance with Thesk, Murgom, and Mulharand. ATC preparing for war. Faxina plans to detonate mana reactor during Octavian's inspection in Waterdeep.
Is there any way that they can do a protective shield around where the explosion is going to happen?
You guys know that protection spells exist, but the ones that you guys would know about were not on a large scale like that.
Well, next time we send a message, part of it should be collateral damage at Waterdeep question mark.
Okay. Also, let's see. How about Icy and Rokus? Just roll a history check on um, the Emerald Enclave.
I got a 14.
I got 10 plus 3 for 13.
Okay, so you guys think that basically you guys know that the Emerald Enclave normally is kind of pretty pacifist. They try to keep humans and nature from fighting with each other. Basically, when they have their guides working, they will try to you know, guide people through the wilderness without negatively affecting the wilderness. But you also know that compared with like the Lord's Alliance, they don't really they don't really care for the progress of civilization, I guess. So you do know that they have less of an inclination to protect a city, but this does sound very extreme to you.
Um,
Now,
can I make a
Can I do a
suggestion?
religious check to see what?
I was going to make a suggestion that maybe we could. Where is it they want the explosion to happen again?
Waterdeep.
Yeah, but where in Waterdeep? At the ATC building?
So it's the reactor, which is part of their uh, compound. You don't know much about it because you haven't really been there.
But the compound is where the store is?
So you haven't been there, so you don't really know. But you know that the ATC is in control of Waterdeep, so you would expect that they have a lot more facilities there, not just a store.
Okay, no, because I was just thinking if we knew the location of the reactor, we could organize like a 4th of July party and have everybody, like a festivities going somewhere else to get the people out of the way. I'm just thinking, like, if they're going to do it, how can we get most people out of harm's way, but do it in such a way that it's not obvious? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's actually a good idea. Maybe through the stones we can suggest they consult with Celise to because she would know best about the potential damage, and then we can also just inquire about collateral damage at Waterdeep, and see. That's a good idea, though, to have some sort of a festival or something outside of town.
Like maybe a circus or a party, a solstice party, and
Some
yeah,
sort of event where you could attract people away from it.
yeah.
Can I do
A
a religion check to
diversion.
see what I think the Church of Tyr would think about this? If other people, if you know, if there's going to be a horrendous amount of collateral damage.
If
Okay,
it's just
go
going to
ahead.
blow up, sure.
Yeah,
What,
yeah. Roll your check.
did you say I could?
Yeah, yes. That makes sense.
18 plus 4, 22.
Okay, so you're pretty confident that something like this that causes if it's as destructive as it sounds, that it would cause a lot of collateral damage, and you think that the Church of Tyr and the Lord Justicar, who is part of the Blizzard group, would probably think that this was unacceptable.
Okay. So I just still think it'd be a good idea to ask about collateral damage so that we can tell them if they can't minimize the collateral damage, then we've have to oppose that plan.
And it
I think
is,
given where we are, I think a better way to do it is to say to just ask, is the Lord Justicator on board with this?
Sure.
I think that's the simplest way. We only got 25 words or something like that. So the easiest way
We
to
can
sit there and say, is
we
he
can
agreeable to this?
we can spread it out over a few days and ask and get clarification on both points.
Yeah.
and maybe or even ask if there's somewhere where they can get the reactor and move it to like detonate it outside of the city.
Or no, that wouldn't. It's not movable. But so
Okay.
another thing is there any way
It's
of
like a
disabling
giant
it
power
without?
plant, basically.
Yeah. Is there any way of shutting it down without actually detonating it?
So yeah, you're not able to reply during this message. You sent a message to them and they sent
Right. Yeah.
sent one back.
This
So
is
you'll
just
have
what
to do
we're
that tomorrow.
Exactly.
right.
Yep. Just planning our next one.
Okay. Um. So yeah, that's what you got from Aaron Ewood. So just also to keep in mind, Aaron is part of the Blizzard group, but he's his first he's mainly part of the Emerald Enclave. So just to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, who's sending this? Who actually has the stone that's sending it to us?
You mean who's on the other end?
Yeah.
Aaron Ewood.
Okay. So this is Aaron. Okay. So Aaron. Okay. Good.
He's their contact at the Emerald Enclave
Right.
building.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means Aaron would definitely be telling the Blizzard people what's going on. Okay. Good.
And Xanathia, she's with the Emerald Enclave as well, right?
I think you're saying you want to say Faxina.
Zaxine.
No, it's Fax. I typed it in the thing there.
Yeah.
Faxina.
Zaxine. That's
No, F.
Oh.
Like a
That's-
fax machine.
Yeah, like a fax
Okay.
machine.
Okay. Vaccine. So Vaccina is with the Emerald Enclave. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
She's one of the leaders.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Alright. So, you guys get through the night. So, you guys traveled for a day south and sent a message at night. And nothing too interesting happened there. Now it'll be day 30 of spring. Traveling south again. So what are you doing? We only had you really do one thing on the previous day, but that's fine. What do you guys want to be looking for at this time?
Oh, still,
Either houses or boats.
Okay. Anything else? Any other people want to look for?
still foraging for the group.
Do we have to do rations?
I should be able to provide.
It's
the
harder
group?
for you to provide here because it's not forest.
Yeah, if you can't farm, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, this is pretty rough terrain here.
We got a river too.
Yeah. The river so far hasn't been that accessible from the riverbank. And you don't really have any
I mean,
fishing gear, if that's what you're
Sure.
getting at. As far as I know, you don't.
Let me check.
Yeah, I thought we got some right at the start when we first started,
Yeah.
before even Harbeck joined.
I do not remember fishing ever coming up.
No, I don't think we ever did, but I think we bought it way back when, but I don't see it in my stuff.
I'm looking.
All right. Well,
We got thread.
But could you catch like a rabbit or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, food is not plentiful here.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's use the ration. Just
All right, so I need to use up a ration then?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay,
So
I'm down to
let me
6.
let me go one by one here, because we're kind of not getting things done here. So,
We're not.
Rokus, what do you want to do today? You're traveling south along the river.
Just looking for boats or signs of dragon or people to ask about.
All right, well, one at a time. So, what do you tell me something that we can work off of first? You want to look for boats?
Sure.
Okay. So, just looking. So, we're going to do a perception check.
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay. Now, I'm rolling for whether there are things to see. I rolled a 4. Okay, so you don't really come across anything that's useful.
Okay.
okay. The rest of us do the roll as well?
Not for the same thing, I don't think.
Okay.
How about
So let's
about
move over
for
to Icy. Icy, what are you trying to do during the day?
I'm probably see if there's any evidence of the dragon, because that's sort of been my focus.
Okay, cool. So roll a perception check.
I rolled a 20 and I have +4.
nat 20?
Nat 20.
All right, I rolled a 4. You don't come across any signs of dragons. You don't see any dragons flying in the sky. Nothing to report on that front.
No treasure.
Nope, you don't stumble over a chest of treasure either. How about for Harvick? What are you trying to do during the day?
I'm looking for some sort of habitation. I can't believe you can have a city that close to a river and not have people living outside. So I'm looking for.
We
Okay, I
get
mean,
closer.
I will say you guys you've gotten further away. You would probably expect that there's probably a lot more farmland and stuff on the east side, north, near to the city, where there on the map you can see there's some grassland there, more close to the city, and up on the northeast and east side of the river there. So this area you're in is pretty rough terrain. But yeah, I'll roll for see if you've come across any homes. Okay. So you do come across a small shack along the river during the day.
Can I do investigation? Or knock on
Well,
the door?
yeah, what do you want to do exactly? You see, you're
all
walking
right,
at a distance, you and the party, and you see a small shack near to the river.
Before you go
Okay,
out and
walk.
do something, let's talk. So you don't
Yeah,
go sending monsters in to trash the place.
you're probably going to have to shift change and go in and have a look around, right?
Well, let's see if there's anybody there first. Knock on the door.
No, no, no.
Or,
I'm going to go in as a snake and scout it out and then let you know if there's anybody there and whether to knock on the door or not.
okay.
All right, cool.
Oh,
Icy's being assertive.
Do you want to do it as a snake or something a little less threatening? Do it as a rat or a mouse.
sure, I'll go as a mouse. Just with a snake, I can shake my tail if there's danger. I have a way of communicating without having to shift change.
You could squeak really loud.
Okay, I'm
You
going in
can
as I'm
you
going
can
in as Miss Mousy.
Okay.
you can stand up on your hind legs and flail your little mouse arms if it's something scary.
Okay, I'm going in as Miss Mousy.
All right. Cool. So you guys, what are you guys doing as she's approaching as a mouse? Are you hiding behind a tree stump or
Yeah.
something?
Yep. I'm hiding outside.
All right.
There's all sorts of rocks and trees to hide behind.
So the area here with the shack, it's you guys stayed at a distance, so you don't see as much detail. But as Icy gets closer, she sees that it's a small wooden shack, and as you get closer, on kind of you sort of start circling it a bit, looking for a place to get in. And you see to the other side of the shack that there seemed to be a rack with fish drying on it. And you see some small, like, you see some wooden tools and some, like, firewood. The shack itself looks in pretty bad condition. But you see that it has areas have been like patched over, so it looks like someone must be living here.
Okay.
Okay, so are you looking for a way into the shack?
Sure.
All right, roll perception.
I rolled a 5 plus 4 is 9.
Okay, you don't really see anything other than as you get around to the front door. The door doesn't seem to be very it's not well made or flush to the ground or anything, so it looks like it's pretty easy to squeeze under the front door.
Okay. Then that's what. Or can I climb up and sort of look in through the window? You know what? I'll just poke my head in. I won't go all the way in. I'm just going to poke my head just under the door.
Okay, cool. So are you gonna try to do it without anyone noticing?
Yes.
Okay, so roll stealth.
Okay, I got an 18 plus 2 is 20.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you peek under, and you see an old man, and he's walking towards the front door like he's about to go out.
Okay.
So it startles you a little bit, but he doesn't seem to notice you.
Okay. Well, he's probably used to having mice around.
Yeah.
So I'll just scurry to the corner of the porch.
Okay. So he opens the front door as you scurry away to the corner, and he comes outside with looks like he has a fishing pole, and he goes over and starts, it looks like there's something wrong with it. It's broken in some way, and he's trying to mend it. So he sits down on a wooden, like a stump, and he's messing around with his fishing rod.
What does he look like? What type of person or
He's a
humanoid or
he is a
whatever?
yeah. He's actually just a human male. He's got longish, kind of scraggly white gray hair and a beard, and he's very tanned. Looks like he's spent a lot of time outside.
So it's like a mountain man.
I guess you could say that. He doesn't seem to. You don't see any signs of other people living here. It doesn't look like there's any like paths, like large, roads or anything to the place.
He's got there's no place where there's domestic animals. There's not like a chicken coop or anything like that.
No, it doesn't seem so.
So it looks like he just fishes and dries the fish and eats that along with the vegetation.
Yeah, I think.
Does he have a garden or anything like that?
No, you don't see a garden.
So he's probably selling the dried fish then.
Okay, can I get past him and get inside the building to have a look around inside it?
Sure. So he's,
Okay,
he's messing with his fishing rod, so he doesn't really pay any mind. He hasn't noticed you.
Okay. So I'm inside the shack, and what do I see?
Okay, so it's a small shack. It doesn't have much in the way of furnishings, but he has like a kind of cluttered table with a bunch of little boxes and stuff on it, and you do notice that there's like an oar on the back wall. It's like propped up against the wall.
An oar, like
Yeah. Like for a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go up on the table and see if I can find out what's in the little boxes.
Okay. So you go over and seems like the boxes have like various little like fishing lures and hooks, and there's just lots of little doodads. And a lot of them seem to be fishing related.
Okay. Do I notice anything else, like on shelves or under the bed or in the cupboards?
There's definitely stuff all around, but I wouldn't say there's anything of interest.
Okay, then I'll head back to the boys and let them know what's going on, or what I've discovered.
Okay. So you scurry on back. Nobody. It doesn't seem that you're detected.
Nope.
And you're able to get back to the group. Are you gonna turn back into a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll tell them what I found.
Okay, so she conveys that she found a old fisherman in a little cottage, cabin, shack. And nothing too strange. So what do you guys make of that?
That sounds interesting. I'd like to go down and talk to the guy and just see, one, if he's trying to fix his fishing equipment, if there's anything we can help him with, and see if he'd be willing to part with a lure and any
Or maybe
fishing equipment we can buy off of him.
And maybe if he's got a boat secured somewhere that we could either rent or buy.
Yeah.
If he's got if there's an oar there, he might have a boat.
Okay.
Are we going to all go as a group, or just one of us and just say we have friends? And how are we going to do this? Because,
I think we'd
like,
be
if there's
less threatening. Why don't you go down, Icy, and talk to him and just see if he needs any help with his mending. And we have thread that may be helpful if he's trying to fix something.
I think I should go with somebody because it might be kind of suspicious a woman out in the forest all by herself.
Go with Pookie.
Okay,
Go with Pookie.
that we can resend you back what's going on. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so Icy and Pookie are gonna head over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I like it. So you guys approach and he sees you at a distance and he stands up. He looks a little nervous. And he's just
Hello,
looking
sir.
at
Hello.
hello.
Hi. I just come in peace. I've just been out, and I've been looking for a boat so I can travel down the river. And I have friends with me too, but we didn't want to scare you or overwhelm you.
You you looking for a boat?
Yes, yes, to either rent or buy.
Well,
Or if you could take us down the river, if you would transport us, and we could pay you for doing that.
Up the river.
Oh, we're going up the river?
well, you can't really talk right now, so.
Okay. Well, Pookie
Yeah,
told me.
I see you. No,
Well,
Pookie can't tell
Icy
you.
should
He's
know
just.
which way the current's flowing.
Pookie can tell Harvey, but he can't tell you.
Well, I think
Okay.
Icy wouldn't be sure. I mean, if Patricia's not sure, I think Icy's not sure because like you guys mentioned going up and also mentioned going down. So, yeah.
Well, there's the two factors. One is the north-south of the map, up and down, and then there's the which direction the current would be flowing, and I think
It would
they're
be
the
flowing
same. But
south.
Yeah.
oh, okay, then I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I had it backwards.
Let's keep role playing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
don't
what makes
interrupt
it
you.
confusing. I was,
Don't interrupt you outside voices.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Icy's
so I
having a
was
nice
wondering.
chat.
Yeah, so we would like to either buy your boat, rent your boat, or get your services to take us on the river to where we want to go. And would you like to meet the rest of the crew?
Uh, well, I I don't I don't see many strangers come along here. I got
We come in.
a bit startled, but
Okay,
I I do have uh I do have boat.
okay.
So you mentioned well how much gold are how much sorry he would say like how many coppers are you talking about?
Um, well, uh, I guess it would determine on how far you had to take us, or if we brought the boat back, if we're going to buy it or rent it. What if we were to buy it? How much would you be charging?
Uh, well, it's an old and small boat, but how many people are you trying to squeeze in?
Well, there's four of us plus our dog Pookie,
I
and
don't
if
think
you.
it could hold more than 3 people.
Okay.
If they're all about
What?
as small as you, then it'll be fine to have three.
Okay. So how much would you want to sell it to us or just rent it to us?
Uh, well, I don't. I need to have a boat. Um, but I guess if it was enough money to buy a nice new boat, that would be worth it.
Okay. Uh, So what is your price you're thinking of?
Okay, hold on. Let me look at the book. So I have no idea how much that should cost. I'm gonna go get water. According to the book, by the way, it says a rowboat costs 50 gold.
It's an old beat up one we could probably get for. Well, if he'd have to buy a new one, he'd want 50, huh? If he throws in fishing gear and the oars, maybe.
Well, we just want to go across the river, right?
Well, if the boat wouldn't fit the 3 people, we can't use it for anything but getting across.
Yeah. So why not just go across? Just rent it. Just rent it for him to take us across. He has to do it 2, 3 times. Then we're all on the other side.
You want to just go across and not get a boat and head back down and down the other river to the east.
Well, then we wouldn't have to worry about having to, get, they might even trade. If we're on the river going past the town, they might sit there and give us trouble or something like that. And we're already take us a day just to row back up. We're going to have to be rowing against the current. I'd say just go across.
Oh, so also since we're on break, let me ask you a boat question. So I know that the Vikings would take their longboats up and down rivers and stuff, but would they like normally just have a ton of people rowing, or would they use the sails? How would they go against the current and stuff?
Depends on the wind.
Yeah.
Okay, in a river, the wind has to be almost on a river. How wide is the river?
So I don't have a. Let me double check. I looked it up here. Let's see if it
Because
says.
as far as sailing goes, that's going to make a big difference.
On the map, it seems to be a pretty substantial river, I would say. But let me see.
Well, if they had this
I don't
barge
see it
going up
having
and
any
down.
measurement on the thing here. But I'm imagining.
He said there was a big barge going down. It couldn't be a strong current.
Uh.
Yeah, how's the barge being propelled?
Well, I was gonna ask you that basically. Like I don't know typical ways that you would do that. So let's say
Okay.
it's like I don't know a great river to compare to. Like it's not gonna be as big as the Mississippi, I guess. It's not gonna be that big,
Okay, if it was,
but it's
you've
gonna
seen
be
the
pretty
Mohawk.
big, I guess.
You've seen the Mohawk, right? When you visited us?
Uh, okay. Is
Or you
that the
don't
one we
remember?
went by with going to? We took a long walk to another town or something.
Yeah.
I very, very vaguely remember, but
Okay. All right. On the Mohawk River, which is a substantial river, but not the Mississippi, obviously. Um, you have basically 3 ways of moving and we're talking about a bateau now. You sort of have 3 ways. One is to row. If it's shallow enough, you would pole, where you're taking a pole and pushing it on the bottom and propelling it that way.
okay.
Which, if it's shallow, is easier then. And then the another way of doing it, if the shore is good, is what's called lining, where you take a rope. One guy gets out of the boat, walks down, ties it to a tree, and then the other person there will pull the rope in. That's called lining.
Okay.
And all three of those ways are more efficient than uh, if you've got any kind of equipment doing it. If you're all by, just have a backpack on, it'd be about the same in terms of how long it would take you to go,
Okay, so you're saying
unless
like
there's a path.
the only benefit really it's not anything about speed, but just the amount of stuff you can carry on a boat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can carry lots
Unless
of
there's a,
stuff.
unless there's a path. If there's a path, you can actually by yourself without any equipment. You can actually go a little bit faster if you're going upstream. If you're going downstream, you can probably go faster in the boat.
Okay. All right, it makes sense. So I guess so in that situation, I would expect like travel from Waterdeep up to Yartart. Most people would use the long road to take supplies and stuff, right? And then to get down to Waterdeep, they'd
Um,
go by the river to follow the current. Sounds like that would be
yeah,
more efficient.
depends on, or it is. It depends. If the road is not paved, it would still be better to go by boat.
I think that it's implied that this road, yeah, the roads on the map that got red are supposed to be paved.
Okay, if it's paved, yes, you'd be using the long road.
Okay, cool.
If you're going upstream. If you're going downstream, that's another
All right,
whole
cool.
different ball game.
And
Because the
the other
thing is, if you're
thing,
going downstream, what you can do is you make a raft
right?
and just float downstream. Then when you get to where your destination is, you sell the wood for firewood, and then you trek back up again.
Yep.
Okay,
They just be one way.
Yeah.
okay, cool. So I guess that sounds like what we're gonna say. Most of the traffic on the river is gonna go south. So let me add some detail. When you guys saw the ATC barge going up the river, uh, you guys, it wasn't clear to you how it was being propelled. You didn't see any oars, you didn't see any sails. It was just going up the river.
We
Um,
suspect
No Pullman.
we
yeah,
suspect it's
so
being propelled the same way their car did.
yeah, you have seen they've had some mana tech that has done things that has surprised you, like a flying vehicle. So having an ATC ship going up the river, although surprising at first, you guys would probably assume that they have some kind of magitech going on. But all the other traffic
Okay.
is
All right. Let
mostly
me.
boats going following the current south.
Okay. Now let me say something. In terms of traffic, if you're talking about a fairly large barge, what they would do is they would have about 4 or 6 what are called polemen, and they have a really long pole, and they're close enough to the shore so that they can reach the bottom with like a 20-foot pole. They put the pole at one end of the boat down, and then they walk, and as they walk, that moves the boat. And
Okay.
then they'll do that on one side, and then when they get to the end, they'll move across to the other side and walk on down with the pole, so that you have three
Okay, I
either.
see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like legs basically.
And so that when you say barge, that's what you would do. But there's no way, we wouldn't want to do with anything that large. That's how they would go upstream.
Okay. I will say you haven't seen any traditionally pulled barges like that,
Okay.
but yeah, you have seen this ATC watercraft just
Right.
chugging on up the river without any obvious means of propulsion, which
Right.
yeah, it looks weird. But since you guys have seen their floating cars and flying vehicles, you would assume there's some magic stuff going on. But that's just the very wealthy ATC that would have something like that. Everybody else is
Right.
doing traditional means.
Right.
Okay, but currently we got Icy having a conversation with this old fisherman. So he tells you that in order for him to buy a new boat in town, he'd need 50 gold.
Now,
But
as
you guys can see that if you guys just want to cross the river, that he'd probably be able to get you guys over uh, without too much trouble. Taking one or two of you at a time.
that would be
Okay, well, I'm gonna wait till you guys come on over and we'll discuss and go from there.
Are you going to wave us over?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna tell them that my friends are gonna join us. And maybe we can share some coffee or something, some of our rations with him or whatever.
All right. As you guys approach and he sees how, you guys have your weapons sheathed and stuff, but you still look kind of formidable. And you have a very large, muscular elf following you guys who looks intimidating, and the fisherman sort of looks uncomfortable, backing up a bit.
Don't worry that we're all of good character, and the big guy has been helping us out.
Oh, okay.
We won't harm you in any way.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I don't have much to offer in hospitality.
Well, maybe we could buy a bit of fishing gear off of you. Would you be willing?
Well,
Sell-
I'm in the
sell a
middle
hook?
of fixing up my rod here.
Anything we can help you with?
Nah, I'll be fine. I got what I need.
Okay.
But so you want me to go down to town down in where is that? Hold on.
I
Sorry.
think we'd be okay.
Are you trying to get
We'd be
down
okay.
to the town? Bellerin?
We just need to get, for right now, just get across the river would be fine, I think.
Oh, sorry, Belliard. Yeah. Oh, you just want to head across?
Yeah.
All right. Well, judging by how big. Sorry, no offense or anything.
yeah, if you could ferry us across.
Yeah, could do it in a couple trips.
You can take our friend Icky across in one.
Yeah. Okay. I can help you out.
You take 2 coppers a crossing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'll be great.
Okay. So that would be like 3 times across or 2 times across?
Okay, let's see. Who can... I guess Icy Rokus and him can go at one time. Harvick and Fuki one time, and Zeraphim one time. So 3 crossings.
So give him 6 copper.
Yeah, 6 copper.
Who's doing that? Me?
Yeah, you're the money bags now.
Okay.
I have silver and copper, just no gold.
All right. Anyway, Icy, if you want to do 6 copper, that'll be good.
Okay. I've done it.
All right.
Can I buy a fish hook off of him?
Sure.
Sure.
He'll sell you one for a copper.
Okay. I'll take another one off.
And maybe some dried fish if he's selling that.
Sure.
How many fish for a copper?
So according to the book, a loaf of bread is 2 copper. So I guess a fish maybe would be 2 copper, something like that. I don't know. Sounds good to me. You guys have money to pay that, so he'll say 2 copper.
So how about if I give you 10 copper for 5 fish and a fishing lure? Does that sound fair?
10 copper? Okay, sure.
How many does one fish count as one ration?
Sure. Yeah, that'll be fine.
How many rations does Zerathim have?
I don't think he has any right now.
Okay, well,
So
I should have been foraging as well.
Yeah, you
why don't we
you
give
were
him
able to, on the way down, you weren't able to feed the whole group, just enough to help Zeraphim out.
Oh, and I forgot. I have the axe beak with me too, so that would probably be an extra.
So why don't we give the 5 fish to
Forgot
Zerathim
about
then?
that. Okay, so Zeraphim has some food for the next days. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, the axe beak would take another crossing. Yeah, you'd have to take some extra precautions. What are you gonna do to get the axe beak to calmly sit in a boat?
I'm gonna talk nice to him. We've been together now for a while.
But are you planning to go with him also? Are you gonna go in the boat with the axe beak?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Would there be room for the 3 of us? The boat guy and the axe beak and me?
It would be pushing it.
Well, what I could do would be to have me go first with the axe beak, and I'll row across and back, leave the axe beak on the other side, and then come back and go from
Okay.
there.
Well, now what you can do with horses, I don't know about axe beaks, but what you can do with horses is you can put a halter on them, and then they'll swim behind the boat, and the boat pulls them along. Is what they would do on rivers that didn't have huge currents.
I feel
I
like
don't know enough about axe beaks to know if they could swim across. Most animals can swim.
Let's just be simple and give him another 2 coppers for the axe beak.
But I'll row the thing back and forth for him.
Okay, but I'm good. I'm taking off another 2 coppers.
okay, that's
Pay
fine.
for the axe beak.
The guy, after taking you guys across, he seems to have gotten comfortable enough, and he says he'll let you row his boat back and forth with the axe beak.
Okay.
So,
Then he can row me back over so I can take the boat back.
yeah. The axe beak does seem to be kind of uncomfortable. It you have to fuss with it to get it in the boat and to calm down and stuff. So you're pretty sure the guy couldn't have just rowed it across.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're not
Especially-
you haven't seen axe beaks swim before, so you're not sure how that would go either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get over there, while I'm waiting for him to row somebody else, I could take the axe beak down to the water and see how he does, if it's something he seems to like or not.
He drinks some of the water, and you try to get him to go in. He doesn't seem to want to. He doesn't seem
Okay.
scared of the water or anything.
He's just not interested in getting in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask the riverman if he's heard anything about dragons to the east when he was in town or talking to people or anything like that.
He says, "Yeah, there used to be a dragon that flew overhead sometimes."
Going directly east or southeast, northeast?
It usually stayed east of the river. I haven't seen it for a few months.
What color was it?
I'm not sure. It was pretty. It would glint in the sun though.
Okay. like a metal with glint?
Yeah,
Okay.
like iron or silver.
Okay.
All right, so you guys have got across the river, and he doesn't seem to be a chatty fellow. He kind of salutes you a goodbye and starts rowing back across.
Thank you for all your help, sir.
He just nods at you and smiles.
And I'm gonna flip him a silver and and basically say this is so if anybody comes looking for people traveling that meet our description, you're not gonna remember anybody coming through.
And okay, you toss the silver piece, and he actually catches it in the air. And you see him say smile, and he says, "What? Did I hear someone's voice?
Good answer.
The wind is noisy today."
Yeah, it'd be a lot safer if you had never seen us.
And then he looks a little uncomfortable when you say that and starts rowing a bit faster to get away from you guys.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for all your help.
All right, so you guys have crossed the river. Congratulations.
Now, how far down are we on the map?
Um, you have you had not yet gotten to the little offshoot there on the west side.
Okay.
Do you see the little tributary there?
Okay.
You're
Yes,
like
I do. So it
you'd
would
probably
be.
be at the top
I was
of
just trying to
the
decide if it
top
would
of
be
the
better.
hill
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
there on there.
I was just trying to see if it would be better to go south to where there's that easier expanse, but it looks like we just want to go directly east, get out of the mountains and get into the woods.
Okay, now I'm going to, as an action, expel a ranger spell slot
Okay.
and cast primeval awareness
Okay.
to see if there's any dragons within 6 miles of us.
All right. Cool. Let me see. Double check how that works. Is it you can name a specific creature type or what?
Aberrations, terrestrials, dragons, elemental, fae, fiends, or undead.
Okay, cool.
It's 1 mile for regular and up to 6 miles in my favored terrain.
Okay, so right now you're in the hilly environment, not in the forest, so you'd only get 1 mile.
Okay.
You do not sense the presence of dragons.
Okay.
Or anything else. Does he have to specify, or it could be any of those
it looks
things?
like you get all of them at once here. Yeah, you don't see any others either. None of those things on the list.
So we're heading east.
Yeah, but yeah, keep
Sounds good to me.
that primeval awareness. If you're hunting dragons, that will definitely come in handy.
How long does it last?
I think it's only a minute.
Yeah, a minute.
I can cast it several times in a day. I don't want to use up all my ranger slots, but
Yeah, you don't have too many spell slots. 6 total, right?
How many ranger slots do you have?
6.
Okie dokie. Let me check the map here. So you guys just planning to head straight east to the forest?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So, Rokus, roll a survival check to guide the party.
10.
Okay, this average. You're able to take, do an average job going. Nothing slows you down in particular, but you're able to travel for the full day. Anything else you guys trying to do during the day? I think we already had you guys roll for those other things, so we're not going to do extra rolls for those. But anything in addition to those that you want to do? Look forward to?
Just listen and look uh, for anything flying in the air.
Okay, cool.
Just just to get information if we see any houses or anything like that, that might be people. Just see if they, we're still trying to find out where dragons are.
Now
Okay.
we
If
going
we
sort
see
of
anybody,
north.
we can question.
We're going northeast.
No, we're going straight east.
Okay.
Okay, so, you're headed east. You're kind of headed on the map towards there's a piece of the forest that's kind of sticking out.
Yeah.
That's what you're headed for, basically.
Once we get
But
in,
that's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
take
what I
a
was
few.
thinking.
That's gonna take a few days of travel here.
okay.
Okay, so it becomes night. You guys are still have a long ways to go. So you make camp. Anything in particular want to do?
We want to send another message.
Okay, great.
I think all we need to do is say crossed river continuing east, and then see what they say.
We also would put in something about a question mark, collateral damage, water deep.
Okay.
Oh, and I would ask Zarathan if he wants to practice our channeling an emotion.
Good idea. Okay, so you guys send a
No,
message
well,
saying you crossed the river and asking. Well, you have enough. You have enough words to be a little more detailed if you want to. What did you want to say about the collateral damage?
Consult Celise regarding
We
collateral
get
damage at Waterdeep.
Okay. I see any other ideas?
plan to reduce collateral damage.
Okay. Plans to reduce as a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. He responds basically saying the Lord Justicar is not in favor of blowing up the reactor. Neverwinter seems to be kind of on the fence. Faxina thinks that the number of lives lost would make up for the
Justified.
is justified by stopping the ATC from going to war with the Sword Coast or anybody else, and from destroying the planet.
Got a point there. If there's a whole war, they're gonna stop.
So it seems that it's definitely being talked about. I guess he'd also say something like Solis is looking into it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, maybe there's a way of deactivating it rather than destroying it.
But it does seem that there's some discussion being had, and that at least the Lord Justicar and Faxina are pretty, both pretty adamant on their sides, not really agreeing yet.
Okay. And now, I'm thinking, with the dragon that we're planning on fighting, the green dragon, think it's poison based, so fire should be effective against it. But we might want to try also channeling cold.
Well, we might do a history check as to which would be more effective.
Yeah, and I should know about that.
Yeah, Rokus,
Being-
you have because of your favored enemy thing, you get advantage on history checks for dragon
Okay.
stuff.
I got 15.
Okay, what specifically did you want to know?
I as I just with actual my memory is that the green dragon is poison oriented.
Okay, that's correct.
So it should be vulnerable to fire and cold, but not poison.
Okay, so 15's not bad. You know that it's immune to poison. It's
Yeah.
immune to being poisoned also.
Yeah. Right.
So in D&D, vulnerability is when something gets double damage from a type of damage type.
Right. I didn't mean.
Yeah,
extra damage.
I wasn't. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
It is
sure.
not vulnerable in the statistic
Right.
way, so it doesn't take any extra damage from fire or cold. But
But it will take damage.
Yeah, you can damage it with fire or cold damage.
Right. That's what I remembered for actual. my real memory of.
So that's correct.
dragon.
Yeah.
So we've been working on fire. You want to continue with that?
You talking to Seraphim?
Yeah.
Talking. Okay. He says. With my fiendish ancestry, it seems that anger is probably the only thing I can tap into. But maybe it'd be better for you to try something else.
Try the cold.
So winter.
Winter.
So how about
Sadness.
if you're angry, a lot of times you fly into rage, so that's sort of like a red hot. Whereas
Well-
if you're angry and you're sort of seething, it's sort of like a cold anger.
Well,
Like
now
Winter anger is sorrow.
okay,
yeah, isn't that what you used against? It wasn't winter what you used against the monster
I
when
think
you
I
first
tried
found out
at
you
one
had the
point.
ability.
Yeah, there was one time.
Yeah,
when
I'll
it
remind
went-
you. I can remind you what happened exactly.
Yeah,
That was at the point in the battle that you were the last one standing,
and it
and
was
you were
like
starting
despair.
you were going into a feeling of despair at that point. You were pretty sure you're gonna lose, and it wasn't. You weren't angry at the moment. You were just feeling like, yeah, despair that your team was down. You didn't know what you were gonna do.
Yeah,
And you got some ice armor at that time.
right.
But
So-
it actually didn't wasn't enough to help you because Harvick, you actually went down, and Harvick got revived with the help of Tyr.
Right. So I'm going to try that to channel the feeling that um, I can't remember her name, the little girl Tika,
Okay.
that her brother, the feeling he must have had being all alone in Neverwinter with his sister being killed and him on his own,
Okay.
and their protector had turned into a zombie. He must have been really devastated from that.
Okay. So yeah, definitely some sad stuff to think about. So go ahead and roll a charisma check, and since you did a good job of describing it there, I'll let you have advantage.
All right. I have a -1.
Yeah, you're not good at this, so
Yeah. 15.
okay, that's with the advantage, 15.
Yeah, with advantage, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 15's good. So yeah, you're able to, you feel um as you tap into the emotion, at first you start getting this, yeah, sad feeling, and as you kind of try to focus on it, it makes you want to cry, and you see that like Seraphim's there and your other party members are around, and you kind of feel uncomfortable. So what is Ruckus gonna push forward to ignore the others, or what do you think he would do?
Um, maybe maybe move away, go off by myself to do it.
Okay. So you feel like you need to have some privacy to tap into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd be comfortable doing it with Seraphim. Um,
Okay. Would you
because he
want to
would
tell
under
him what's going on?
yeah, yeah, and that he would understand. He would be able to he wouldn't be judgmental or weirded out by it.
Okay. So you tell him what's going on, kind of, that you're going for the sadness this time. He says,
I'm looking
"Sure.
for a
Let's. I think it's
winter.
probably important that maybe not this time, the first time, but you have to. I think you're gonna have to be able to be like free enough with your emotions that you're gonna be able to like cry in front of people at some point, if you're gonna really
Do it
totally
for
tap
real.
into your emotions. Yeah, like you
Or
have to be
or
free
yeah, you're
enough with
right,
your emotions that you can do it in front of anybody.
including an enemy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's not, it's something that, yeah, as a warrior, we don't think of like crying or something as something you do during battle.
And the character Rokus, that's not natural for him.
He says, but Seraphim says, yeah, probably this, since it's your first time, maybe, yeah, just going off alone makes sense. But I'll come with you and see if you can do it.
Okay.
So
So what was the result if he was successful for ice armor? What does that actually do?
well, are you asking like out of the game statistics?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened to you previously was you got +5 AC.
So it's potent.
Yeah, but I mean, it still didn't save you that time.
No, but I was completely screwed at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys go off, and you rolled a 15, so you were successful. As you tap into this feeling of sadness and despair, Rokus is able to shed some icy tears as Seraphim looks on, and that you have proof that you've actually tapped into some magic this time. So once again
Now,
made some progress, but you don't
now,
feel that you still haven't felt the ability to call forth the ice armor or anything like that.
okay.
Seraphim also says, have you one of the things, I mentioned this last time, but when I thought I was an Eladrin, I did a lot of research on Eladrin, so I know that an Eladrin should be able to do the Fey step, where you step into the Feywild. Have you tried doing anything like that?
Let me see.
What are you clicking there?
Looking for my Fey ancestry and that sort of stuff to see what I can.
Oh, okay. I can look it up too. I believe the Fey ancestry thing, that's something you have as a elf normally.
Yeah.
So that's not specifically Eladrin. Let me see. This ranger, rogue, racial feat. So yeah, Fey ancestry, you have advantage on saves against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. So this is the Fey ancestry of a normal elf.
Okay.
So you don't have
Then
any feat that would let you do this teleporting. But, you have discovered this Eladrin magic ability, so he's kind of asking you, is
it's
there any
not
way you
something
think you could attempt it?
I would certainly be happy to try if now that I know it's something I should be able to do.
Okay, so he says, I used to think what I was doing was face step, but apparently it's not. But I can show you what I do.
I've seen you pop in and out, transporting yourself during battle.
Yeah. I can
Should
do
I
it now if you want to see.
should I try to conjure that up?
Yeah, I don't have much. I can't really give you much suggestion in this one. It's
Yeah.
the idea is that the Eladrin could open a crossing to the Feywild, which is in parallel with this dimension, and basically walk along through the Feywild and then come back into the material plane.
Right, but it's only for short distances.
Yeah, maybe 30 feet.
Okay.
I'm able to do mine for quite a long distance. But it's from what I've read about the Eladrin, it wasn't actually that long.
Okay. Now,
Did you?
would it be?
I think I remember you telling me that you had actually gone through a Fey crossing.
Yes, actually, I did. At at when we were in that um, bottom of that temple
So
in
you might have some. You've had some
Lorelei.
experience with it in that way at least.
Okay. Would that give me an advantage to trying it?
Okay, so just describe to me a little bit. What are you thinking that Rokus is gonna try to do?
He's gonna recreate in his mind that setting in the temple in Torley, I think it was,
Okay.
and how in that one I'd crossed a creek.
Right.
So I'm thinking of slipping through the water into the into the Bay Forest.
Okay. Do you remember anything else about that?
Remember there was a voice that I was following.
Okay, you had met the fairy and she went through.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, let's do a charisma check. I don't think. I think Rokus is less sure what to do here, so no advantage.
Okay. I didn't do good. I rolled a 4 and I have a -1, so it's only a 3.
Yeah,
Didn't
you
didn't didn't come
you
close.
try to like focus on the idea of that place, and it doesn't seem to help you any.
Okay.
And then
Maybe next time.
yeah, Seraphim says, he says, yeah, I don't know. When I do mine, I kind of envision the path I'm gonna take.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Rather
You
than
might need
crossing
to.
the creek following a path.
Yeah, I don't know if you can find if you found a maybe an elf who can do Misty Step or something like that might be able to help you.
About a smelly dwarf.
Oh, yeah. I guess you did. You guys said that he used his Misty Step to escape from the prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he could help you. I don't know. It's
Okay.
probably a different ability though.
Well, maybe I could have him do Misty Step and I'll watch and see if it gives me any inspiration.
Okay. Cool. So are you gonna do that tonight?
We got time.
Okay. So you go over and Harvek's getting ready to go to sleep.
Hey, Harbeck,
Yeah.
I understand you were using a spell Misty Step to try to evade the people in Yartar when you were trying to
It was
escape.
Tribord.
Tribor, rather. Yeah. In Tribor.
Yeah.
Um, before we head off for the evening, could you explain how that works and what if there's any kind of um, direction that you could give to somebody that was trying to do that spell? Um,
Well, it says I was briefly surrounded by a silvery mist, and it teleported me up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space, any unoccupied space that I can see.
okay, so I should be looking at a space if I was going to try to do that, and 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 visualize myself passing into that other space through a mist, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, and
so
then
yeah, Seraphim
another
mentioned
thing.
that he would visualize the path that he's gonna go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Another thing that might help too is when you were there, Icy and I don't see it in my inventory list, so I'm assuming Icy has it, but we filled a bottle full of that water. That might be something that would help you
Okay. Okay.
because
Well,
you had to go into the water to get
To have the teleportation occur, right?
I remembered I was in the creek, but I was following the ferry,
Right.
so I'm
Okay.
not real
But
sure
I
that.
think you had to be in.
yeah,
I
but
think I drank. I think I drank some of the stream
Yeah,
too.
that's why I'm thinking the water. So yeah, so I say with I don't have it in my inventory list, so I'm assuming Icy has it, but I'm pretty sure we filled a bottle of that. So you might want to take a chug of that water to see if it helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of remember that, so I'll say that one of you guys can offer that if you want to.
Okay, I'll offer it. I can't seem to find it, but
Yeah, I remember you
Yeah,
guys
I might
getting
have
water,
forgot.
so.
Yeah, well, apparently we forgot to put it in our inventory list.
That's fine, though. I remember this happening, so sounds good to me. So Ruckus, the Icy and or Harvick have a bottle of very clear water that they say is from the stream.
Okay, I could just take a sip of it,
Okay,
the teeny sip.
it tastes very, very good for water. Pure water. Okay, so this will be your advantage roll here, your second attempt. But that'll be it for today. Charisma
Wow.
check again.
19 minus 1, so it'd be 18.
Okay, cool. So you start looking across at a unoccupied space. So you're looking at a place where you could go to, and you start to visualize. So tell me what you're visualizing again.
Visualizing a, a misty beginning and a path to the unoccupied spot.
All right, as you imagine a spot, the something interesting happens, which is that you start seeing, instead of this, it's nighttime, right? So you're just seeing like pretty dark, hilly, grasslandy kind of area. There's not many trees around. But when you start visualizing it, you see the sky gets a little brighter. You see this twilight sky, which you remember from the Feywild. And as
Right.
you look across the grass in this path, the grass is like a kind of a bright red color. And you see some strange floating creatures in the air. But it's kind of directed along this path. And what do you want to do?
Try to move, project myself down the path.
Okay, let's have you do a dexterity check.
Dexterity check. Dexterity is helpful.
You have a +4 dexterity.
Huh.
That's your top base stat.
Oh, it's on the top thing. Okay, yeah. +4. That would be 11.
Okay, that's good enough. You're able to start. You start walking, and you feel, when you're walking through this red grass, that you can actually see the grass like parting as you step through it. So you're like interacting with this, what looks to be the Feywild. And as you step into it, you notice the environment around you gets even more alien, and you then notice that you don't see Harvick or anything around you. It all looks like the Feywild. But then, as soon as you realize that, you snap out of it, and you're back in the normal material plane. But it seems that you've moved forward about 5 feet.
Okay.
And Harvick, you were watching, so you would have noticed that he blipped in and out of existence for a second.
So I might be able to move about 5 feet doing that.
Yeah, it seems like you need practice.
Yeah.
But you
Cool.
were able
Try
to do
doing
it.
it without taking. Try doing it without taking a sip and see what happens.
Okay. Try again,
See if
Ruckus.
the water was. See if the water was important.
Since this is kind of an experiment, I'll let you do another roll for that.
Okay, I actually did better. I rolled a 16 plus 4, so it's 20.
Okay. You're able to do it again without sipping the water. You still only go about 5 feet though. But after doing that twice, you actually feel really tired. We got 15 minutes left for the session. You guys want to keep going or?
No, I'm tired.
Okay, I think it's fine to cut it here actually.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
either
that
way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't have anything
I'm
really
fine with
planned
me.
for you, so I think it's good to cut it here. So that
Okay,
was day
sounds good.
30. Day 30 crossed the river with the help of a fisherman. Sent another message to Aaron, and Rokus did face step training. Successful.
A little bit successful also with the ice armor.
Yeah, I would not the armor really, but tapping into the sadness emotion, getting some magic output from it.
Right.
Okay, cool. So that's what we're in the session for this time. You've crossed the river and you're on your way to the area where you expect to find dragons, possibly. All right, so see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, DM.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.